Well, I've got to be very blunt with you in today's broadcast. I am deathly afraid of what is going to happen in the 2024 election. And what I mean by that is I am deathly afraid that communist Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to win the election. And I mean that with all honesty. I pray every day that that doesn't happen. I don't know how the election is going to go down. But because of the mere fact that the mainstream media is out there right now, all, for the most part, all except for maybe 10%, 90% of the mainstream media is sending a pro-Kamala Harris message to the American people, and they're sucking it up, and a negative message to the American people about Donald J. Trump. In fact, they're out there lying off their keisters about Donald J. Trump. They're saying that it's his Project 2025, which it's not. He has nothing to do with that. In fact, the Heritage Foundation, it's a conservative think tank. They put stuff like that every single time out that they make a wish list for the Republican candidate. It comes out nearly every time there's an election, I believe. And this time they're trying to say it's President Trump's Project 2025. Now, Donald Trump has every right to sue every single mainstream media outlet lying about it, but it has yet to happen. But they're out there telling the American people, these mainstream media outlets are out there telling the people, hey, Donald Trump's going to put you in prison. He's going to kill the working man, whatever. They're these. He's going to stop abortion and ban all of it altogether. They're just lies. He's going to stop gays from getting married. It's another lie. You're not going to be allowed to send your kids to school. He's going to get rid of all this. It's lie after lie after lie. And the American people are like, oh my God, Project 2025, which has nothing to do with Trump. And so therefore, they're doing everything in their power to make Kamala Harris happen at the event that they're even lying to the max, now to the extreme. Now, there's a lot, it's very unfortunate, but the mainstream media is brainwashing people in that direction. When you're giving a 90% positive message as opposed to a 90% negative message against Donald Trump, 90% positive against Kamala Harris, this is the end result, right? That's what's happening. So people are out there blindly following Kamala Harris. And by the way, the mainstream media is not talking about her policies because God forbid if they share Kamala Harris's policies, these people won't vote for her anymore. So they're purposefully hiding from their people the fact that she's going to increase taxes to the tune of $5 billion, trillion, some odd dollars, something to the effect of anyway. But it's a massive hike. It's $5 trillion, list of tax hikes that she's going to be implementing. And that's just the start of it. So instead, the mainstream media is running on, she's a joyous candidate. She's racially equal. She's a black woman, the first president. Anything that they can tell you to get your attention and to vote for her outside of the fact of her policies. Now, here is why I'm deathly afraid of Kamala Harris' role. It's because of her policies. Take a look at what I'm talking about here. And this is on zerohedge.com. A Harris victory in 2024 makes the United States a one-party state. And they're going to make a really good case in this particular article. And I am also going to kind of give my own opinion. But mark my words, if they win, we're probably pretty much guaranteed that we will never have a real Republican, less the rhinos, but no more real Republican in the executive office anymore because they're damn well making sure of it. One of those ways, let me show you this, is Harris will target the Supreme Court as that is the most potent source of resistance to Democrat rule. In fact, to prove that point, I've got this article here, truthout.org. Harris has expressed being open to Supreme Court expansion. During a forum in New Hampshire in May of 2020, a moderator asked Harris how she felt about adding as many as 4 seats to the Supreme Court. The then senator from California said she was open to this conversation. She also signaled a desire to place restrictions on the amount of justices a president can be appointed to the court and to end lifetime appointments for justices. These reforms and others would restore the court's legitimacy in the eyes of the voters, she suggested. 2 months prior to that forum, Harris similarly indicated that she was willing to consider increasing the size of the court. My fear about that is she wants to expand the Supreme Court. In other words, fill it with as many social justice leftist radicals to outvote the conservatives. Look, the liberals held the court for a number of years. Now suddenly we have it and they're freaked out and they're wanting to pack it. This is insane. This will ensure that not only will the Democrats and the progressive radical communist, aka socialist, be in control of the Supreme Court, but they also already have pretty much all of the three-letter agencies, the entire DOJ, the FBI, the CIA, the DOJ, the NSA, hey, the CDC, right? All these organizations are very left-leaning. We have no choice. They're even purging conservatives from their branches. Imagine what would happen if we even lose the Supreme Court because she decides to pack it. In fact, there's another plan in place, and she hasn't voiced this, at least as far as I know, but I know a lot of Democrats have talked about this, and this would be one way to keep Republicans from having the majority, say, in both the House and the Senate. Take a look at this. Additionally, Harris administration would seek to add states to the Electoral College. Specifically, the Harris administration supports the push to add the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico as states, adding 4 senators and at least 2 representatives in the House of Representatives. This would give the Democrat permanent control over the presidency, right? And here is Puerto Rico asking for such a thing on NPR. Puerto Rico's delegates call for the island to become a U.S. state. Here's the context. So there's definitely talk and chatter about adding to the Electoral College. And again, those are very highly Democrat states. And quite frankly, many of our places, even here in Arizona, are turning more Democrat rather than purple because of the mass influx of immigration and illegal immigration, undocumented citizens, whatever title you want to give it, coming in at the border, right? Not only that, but speaking of illegal immigration, given the decisions by the Biden-Harris administration to open our border, illegal immigration will continue and be accelerated. Although nobody really knows the total numbers, at least 10 to 12 million illegal aliens have entered the U.S. during the Biden-Harris presidency. These illegal aliens will be placed on an immediate path to citizenship so that they may vote legally. Conceivably, at least 12 million more illegal aliens can be expected to enter the U.S. under her presidency. So if more and more are coming under her presidency, because look, it's millions all the time, millions. So this is only going to accelerate the permanent pathway for them to become citizens. And many of these, unfortunately, are voting Democrat, because the Democrats are giving them handouts, giving them money, giving them free phone, giving them, shall we say, free stuff over the American people. Like they're calling for free health care for them, but nothing for the American person. Our poor veterans are suffering. Our homeless people are suffering. And they're getting all these freebies. Of course, they're going to vote for Democrats. It's a bought and paid for vote by the Democrat Party. Hey, we vote for the Democrats. You vote for us. You get all these free goodies. It's insanity. So unless the Republican Party says, hey, we're going to start handing goodies out to you guys, what then, right? What then? But meanwhile, complete and utter chaos at the border. Now, regarding her taxation policies, and this is chilling to the very core, because when she says she wants everybody on the same path, what she really means is she wants to bring the middle class down to the poor class, and basically all of us are going to go down together. And that's her equality. It's not moving everybody up to the middle class. That is such BS, because that is never how it happens. But here it is. Americans can expect a Harris administration to make good on their pledges to institute federally mandated price controls and dramatically increase tax burden on every American, including taxes on unrealized income, also known as a wealthy tax. Now, obviously, the unrealized is only for those over $100 million for now. It always funnels down to us, by the way. And if you accept it on the uber rich class, eventually they'll take it lower and lower and lower until all of us have to pay it. And by the way, even doing that to the uber rich class, A, it's wrong. It's insanity, because you don't get a refund when your stuff goes under. It's complete and utter insanity. And B, it always funnels down. Always funnels down. It's just insane. It's going to cause them to take their investments out of America and start investing in other countries that don't have that, right? It's disgrace. But anyway, everything involved, we're talking about $5 trillion. Take a look. And I've shared this before, Americans for Tax Reform, $5 trillion list of tax hikes Kamala Harris just endorsed. Now, if they share that with her Democrat Party, which they're not, they're purposely hiding, this could cause many Democrats to second guess whether or not they really want to vote for that tax hike. But instead of telling Democrats what she's going to do, they're hiding this fact because they damn well know it can destroy the economy. This is why the mainstream media is complicit in this. They are very complicit. They are not for the American people. In fact, they're talking about it completely cradling our economy, zero hedge. It'll cradle the market. Andy on Kamala Harris's tax policies. And he really gets into it on that particular article. But I don't want to readdress it because I did it on an earlier report. Not only that, but I also wholeheartedly agree with the next point on zero hedge. I agreed with all of them so far. Her Department of Justice will build on Biden's effort to decapitate the Make America Great Again movement by imprisoning Donald Trump, his senior officials, his attorneys, and prospective Republican rivals whose support is rooted in the MAGA movement. Of course, your rhinos will be safe. Mark my words. If Donald Trump does not win the election, they will put him in prison. They will continue to put his officials, his attorneys, and any of their massive main Republican rivals. They're going to start going after them, just like they did right now with Tim Pool and the others. They're going to find something and start rounding us up, which oddly enough, this is exactly what the mainstream media is telling you that Donald Trump is going to do. The truth of the matter is, they are already doing it, and they will fall through on that policy, and they're doing it. Mark my words. They will completely imprison Donald Trump, his officials, his managers, and his rivals, right? Starting with those at the top. His rivals, they may treat a little different. They may start suing them. They may accuse them of Russian affiliation or whatever the hell they want to do. They may sick the IRS after them, whatever it is. They're going to start going after them, but Donald Trump will be shortly thereafter imprisoned. That is the goal, folks. That's the goal, right? And they're already following Tulsi Gabbard in airports. They've got her on the Quiet Skies terrorist list. She's been harassed multiple times at every single airport because they listed her as such. This is from the Biden administration, listing our former congressional leaders, right, as freaking terrorists, former presidents of the United States as terrorists. Just look what they've done with our leading officials. This isn't freedom, folks. It's about to get much more, excuse my French, shittier and bad and tyrannical. We're talking about communist regime, full-fledged. He will be arrested. I would even put 100% certainty on that if he loses. That's my guess. I would love to hear if you disagree with me. And on that, censorship in all forms is going to worsen in all forms. If they can arrest us and they can harass those at the very top, it's very easy for them to censor you. They're already working together. In fact, Kamala Harris has already made some pretty big threats, shall we say, against Elon Musk. And RFK claim Harris wants to shut down X unless site conforms to government oversight. She wants them to conform to oversight. She went out there saying, we need to have the same rules as Facebook as with, X. And the rules referenced there are government censorship. When the government can tell you what you can and can't do, like Facebook listens. This is what she's talking about. There is no even rules here. There are even rules because Elon Musk is saying, I don't allow violence. I don't allow spam. I don't allow porn on my site. And so does Facebook. They're both doing the same thing. They're both saying, hey, that's not allowed. The only difference, right, because these are equal, is Facebook is censoring a lot of stuff that the government wants censored and Elon Musk is not, which includes, by the way, political opponents, things like stuff regarding the vid, stuff regarding health stuff regarding, the election, whatever it is. They want him to comply with that. Quite frankly, he's not. He's saying the people have a right to choose. And she's already threatened. Channels like mine, this is why I'm afraid of things like Rumble and I love Rumble. Let me just put that. But I am afraid to death that the government's going to start shutting these free platforms down like Rumble and X and Gab and all the others. If they get big enough of a threat, with too much information out that they don't like, they're going to start shutting them down. Then where do you go? Just one reason I created Restrictor Republic. And the last point that I want to make on this one, I'm really going to skip over the last two, but just has to do with the CCP, which we all know they're controlled. But policies to destroy American culture, including the nuclear family and Western civilization, will be expanded. They're already after the family. What? You know? So going after parental controls, I think, is a huge one here, because they want to take control away from the parents and give it to a community of individuals. Parents are now losing their rights over their children when they send them to some schools in certain states, where if a child wants to transition, the parent now has no option but to do what the state thinks is best for their own child. This is insanity. Other states have restrictions to homeschool, massive bad ones, and other states not so much. But it's all about teaching your kid, brainwashing your kid, quite frankly, unless you grew up in the right home, to be little dictators for the government. And it just makes me sick. You see, liberals used to be against all of that. The liberal today has nothing to do with that. Tim Pool, Tim Cass, I think he likes to, he was the old liberal. And the liberals today are communist folks. They're not liberals anymore. Anyhow, I know I went a lot longer than I normally do, but I am truly terrified. I don't know how the election plays out. I'm fearful that he's not going to win. And I just hope that we get out there, all of us, even though we need everyone to vote. And that's what I'm going to say. We're going to need every person out there to vote. And please bank your vote and vote early. I know there's a lot of hesitation to that, but believe me when I say they've played a lot of shit can happen day of, and I just want to prepare for that. Anyhow, with that, please don't forget to check out my sponsor at lisahavengold.com. That's lisahavengold.com. Right now, there is a lot going on, and our economy is very unstable. And silver, by the way, is exploding in prices. In fact, in order to make a lot of those solar panels that you see exploding, they need the silver paste to make that work. And that's one of the reasons that silver is going up. And right now, if you go to lisahavengold.com and check out that website, you can fill out the information, and they're going to send you this free gold and silver investment guide. And it talks about some of the ways that you can invest, 401ks, Roth IRAs backed by silver, gold, precious metals. These are things you're going to want to do in today's economic climate. They kind of try to put you ahead of the game with what's going on and solidify that, because the way that things are going in the future, we're being taxed like crazy, and we want to make sure we have the right investments. So give them a call at 1-877-646-5347. Let them know you heard it on Lisa Haven, because right now they are giving up to 10 of these 1 ounce Donald Trump coins, which is really cool. Or they also have this American silver bar that they are giving away with certain approved plans. So check it out, give them a call, and talk to them about investing. If you want more information, click that more button if you're on your cell phone, or click the link in the description box below. And by the way, there's always a risk to investing, and there's never a guarantee. With that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.